还有みんなこんばんは，这边是来自北国那个自由的雪豹南桥诗耶です。よろしくお願いします。大家晚安，高以明晚安，永夜牙月晚安 ，K 老师晚安，刘十九晚安。我们今天要玩，没错，史丹利金口模拟器，你没看错，这个游戏的名字叫 The Stanley Parable， 对。叫做史丹利的预言，然后那个什么 Ultra Deluxe 好像是超级版的感觉的意思吧？对。这游戏好像听我的已经有玩过的朋友说，就是一个被指示的游戏，对，所以大家可以期待一下吗？期待一下吧。有玩了这个游戏，他说玩了这个游戏你就可以理解，就是为什么主播都这么讨厌指示厨。但这个游戏真的，然后今天我不知道，就是有一件事情是我必须要先说，就是我不知道到底会不会3D 晕，因为它是一款3D 游戏，对。然后你看电脑里面，你们看电脑里面还有电脑，然后电脑里面还有电脑，然后电脑里面还有电脑。好了，不管了，我们先开始吧。大家晚上都吃了吗？还没吃的，快点去吃啊！
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in. As though he had been made exactly for this job.
他这样就可以工作
Was happy.
太扯了吧？他领多少？
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh. 现在是真的假的？好耶！现在我是史丹利了，呵呵。好晕哦！等一下，好晃哦！等一下，超晃的，等一下哦。调整一个东西，等我一下，超晃的啦！等下超晃的，等我一下，不行，超晃的。Hello， 阿尔法晚安，我们在玩史丹利金口模拟器。可等一下，因为太晃了，这实在太晃了，我们就要稍等一下。这样好多，这样应该好多，对，这样好多。不是他只要坐在电脑桌前面，然后他只要乖乖的，就是回应那些指示就可以赚钱，而且只要用一只手，骗人的吧？难怪会上班上的那么快乐。不能点开吗？都不能动为什么？骗人的吧？超爽的爽缺，对啊，灵敏度太高，现在是800，刚刚是3000，对不起，刚刚感度是那个 DPI 是3000，不好意思。为什么不能打开？骗人的吧？然后对不起，我键盘还是很吵，因为我还没有换键盘。如果键盘很吵，让大家觉得不舒服，我这边先道个歉。键盘要下个礼拜才会来，因为还要再忍受个。 雷鸣！死了吧，不让我进去！哎，真的耶，全世界都放假，就只有我一个人要来这边值班，是不是？放我进去，放我进去！哎，不给我打开，那我到底要怎样才能够上班呢？哎，可以蹲下，可以蹲下。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
OK， 是一个爸爸。等一下那个杯子上面是不是印一个爸爸 ？Hello， 各位开晚安。对啊，你们看 ，one dad， 这是一个爸爸吧？所以每用一个咖啡杯就会用掉一个爸爸吗？对啊。另外一个写什么？我看一下。对啊，他真的写 one dad。啊，不能开，骗人的吧 ？I 什么 I？
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
那个杯子，我觉得全部人都有一个，不知道大家看不看得到？我恨星期一，在杯子上面写我恨星期一，然后刚刚那个写 one dad， 所以，哇哦！哎，对了，完蛋了，完蛋了，该不会？等我一下，这会有 two dad 吗？我也很想知道。请问，我问一个问题，请问现在会延迟吗？我好像上次好，没事，应该是没有，吓死了我差点以为上次的设定我没有调回。它上面写什么？印了什么？我看一下。好晕。好看不清楚。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
我觉得 Stanley 要的不是 dad， 是 daddy， 好吗？无法 Fred 什么意思啊 ？FARTED， 请问报名这是什么意思？完了，我英文好烂哦，完了。哎，对啊，他们。所有其他部门的人都不在，就是应该说只剩他一个，好可怜哦！全世界都放假，就是你不知道吗？这种自动削铅笔机，大家家里面会放削铅笔机吗？现在不对，现在这个时代到底有谁在用在用铅笔啊？我要哭了，好爽哦！同事还没存档，好爽哦！直接帮他关机。Let me in， 哎，真的都没有人呢。看一下他杯子上面写什么 ？I like work. No, I just had my boss. 哎，不行哎，这杯子，哎，他们，我真的是希望他们这游戏公司可以出杯子哎，太棒了吧！我喜欢我的工作，但是我痛恨我的老板。旁边写什么啊 ？Hell。妙，没，他写看不太出来。哎，对，真的耶，还有人吗？哦，哎，怎么到处都是那个？外面怎么一片白啊？这是下雪吗？来看一下。雷鸣 ，Hello。不能打开看。协助关机。Be my Valentin 吧。哎 ，Let me in。不给过哎，为什么？看得到旁边的好像很可怕的走廊。他不让我用跳的，也不让我打破窗户，为什么？公司只让我一个，让我做一些就是非法之徒能做的事情也不错吧？对啊，不给过。哎呦，这里是发生什么事？是吵架吗？还是看起来很不高兴哦？这个地方写什么？这个没问题。好吧，总之先帮他关机吧，不管了，我不管。现在时间是 哎，好扯哦！现在几点啊？10点12分，10点，快10点差不多。什么 ？I hate Monday。对，现在还是星期一，我们痛恨的星期一快要离开我们了，各位。雷鸣，哎，真的都没有人吗？明明灯都开的。第一次这么开
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
边缘社畜好可怜哦！哎，放我回去，你也不放我回去，骗人吧？他刚说什么？左边的门。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
哎，不是，真的都没有人。然后文件散落一地是什么？生化危机吗？BIOS 吗？好可怕哦！哎，不行啊！他们公司是嫌那个电费不够多，是不是？好可怕哦！到处的那个电脑什么的都开着。4B9，什么意思啊？真的耶，他们的电是嫌电费不够多，是不是？好夸张哦，会被骂吧
？Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
真的耶，他那个杯子上面都在写 one dead， 我来找一下 two dead 好了。
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
把同事都卖掉的那个下场就是只剩下一个人在公司里面这样吧。
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
What?
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
你这个旁白到底在讲什么干话？不能买吗？哎，要买百事啊。
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
有什么好 message 的？我就待在这边过我的下半辈子就好了。哎，冷气吹到饱，然后电费又不用自己付，超爽的哎，超爽的。
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
坏掉的，哎，这是坏掉的印表机吗？影印机，真都没人，什么鬼啊？这感觉在跑团，确实，感觉超像的。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
你到底在讲什么鬼话啊？这里是哪里啊？他待的是一个工程公司吗？到底是什么公司啊？好奇怪啊！感觉是工程公司诶。这个地方 A4， 那 B4 呢 ？A2， 哦，以为要掉下去。Warning. Do not jump from the cargo life. Will it is in motion will cause death. 哦，会死，不要在上面跳。然后这写什么啊？然后罚钱吧。哦。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.I'm asking for her.
你要确定哎，你要确定你。
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
你确定？你要确定哎，让我感到害怕。他刚才前面讲那些话的时候，我以为这是一个 gay game。我
That's her, Stanley.
Hello? 哦，在哪边？
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
还不揍你？不能揍
This
人，
is
真
a
的太
very
太
sad
难过
story
了。
about the death of a man named Stanley.
早安，员工427号，请在你键盘上要 Q。
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
我就偏偏不按 M， 我要按 S。到底在干嘛啊？这地方放我出
Look at
去！
him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
See.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
放我出
Now
去！
he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
不行啊，放我出去！放我
But in
出
his
去啊！
mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
所以我在做
From
梦，
behind
是
his
不是？
desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
放我出去，按 O 观看电视，可以吗？
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
我的电
First,
视
he
嘞！
imagined that one day while
Oi.
at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers,
揍死你，
his
气死我！
boss, everyone in the building
Hey.
had suddenly
把我
vanished
电视还
off
来
the
了！
face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
请和暗与儿子们共度时光。我只想看电视，
So he went
夸张了
further.
吧？
He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world,
真的假的？骗
he
人吧？
began to fill it with
喂
many
喂
possible
喂
paths
不要
and
把我房间变成
destinations.
工作室啊！我要疯
Down
了
one！path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
暗居跟你的孩子讲故事，我哪来的小孩啊？
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
谢了，我现在感到很
Surely
痛苦，
there's
快
an
放我
answer
出
down
去好
some new
吗？
path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more.
这是够了。该不会如果我们继续待在那边的话，就在那边讲了快1个小时吧？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
你来强迫我们去会议室吗？我偏不，我不想要。继续去把那个，哎，这是什么啊？哦。Input recovered， 输入密码。啊，这台电脑不给关了。刚刚查了一下，锦衣 Dad 的马克杯好像表达是最好的爸爸。啊，那为什么没有最好的妈妈？怎么可以这样？不行哎。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
那我刚刚走过去，你干嘛不把门打开啊？
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Hello?
It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
你是有选择性障碍吗 ？Hello?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
哎呦，差点会被卡车撞。等一下，怎么会是车啊？这里。Oh, hi.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
No.
Okay. We just have to get back to,
有地方失火是不是？
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The
104
whole
是
story
失火。
completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh no. What? 根本就是我正在翻剧本的 KP， 不是啊？
All of his co-workers
一群
were
指示厨。
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
不要 ！Fire 的应该是被炒了。
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Hello?
Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago.
他刚才还在这吗？他刚才还在这吗？所以他现在去了哪？你要说
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
就这好了。哎，结果是连在一起的吗？骗人的吧？要发挥把指示术气到中风的本领，当然啦、我们这台是什么？让指示除中风的台。我都觉得越玩越像那个恐怖游戏啊。自动坏掉了吗？
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
哎，你怎么可以这样？你怎么可以这样对待我？我想要
All of his co-workers were gone.
想要绕
What
一
could
下，
it
怎么可以
mean?
这样
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
？Meeting room，对，这是 COC 踹门团吗？可能哦。
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
我要回去，你也
Why
不让
don't
我
we
回
go
去。
back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
我们错过了什么吗？我们是不是忘记把别人的电脑关机啊？来试一下，还有什么吗？应该没了吧 ？OK， 还不让我进门呢、骗人的吧？喂，什么都没有变化，你骗我！哇，是谁？ 谁打翻不清？抓到，而且这地板应该是那个吧？应该是那种有铺地毯的地板吧？对啊，我错过了什么吗？我好像啥都没错过啊！你骗我吗？
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
こんばんは。Hello,
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What? Huh?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all.
Can you speak
Is this
English
the
or
story?
Japanese? Yes,
I don't think so.
can.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
接喽。
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all.
Okay.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
就
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
指示图开大招是不是？在干嘛啦？还有要关的电脑吗？有了。哎，他电脑就这样不见了。听到一个声音吗？啪什么？不是呀！几个？等一下，不是。我没有过关了，我没有。不要。
No, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
哦，他已经放弃我了吗？你终于放弃我了吗？太棒了吧！你觉得现在强迫我进这个房间吗？我偏偏不要。再见，在你全家的见。坏掉的影音机，对啊。好了，来这里好像来这里有什么那个吗 ？Hello， Hiroshi， 晚安。我们在看指示厨崩溃的，我们在玩让指示厨崩溃的游戏。哎，不行啊！他上班在那边玩扑克牌，不是吧？你上班玩扑克牌 ？Hello， 谢喽，新接龙。这里不能开吗？不行。还是不行。Let me in. Hello?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
不是。吓死我了！真是谢喽，你吓到我喽！这里是哪啦？从上次从阿尔法那边知道你知道，现在算初见吧？欢迎欢迎，我们在。我现在在思考，这个指示图是不是坏掉了？还好不是黑魂配乐，我宁可黑魂配乐加血条，你知道吗？然后这游戏越来越哲学了，我不知道现在到底发生什么事情，就是，对，这是一个我成功让一个指示图崩溃的音乐嘛？他脑溢血了，可能哦。旁白，对啊对啊。喂喂喂喂喂喂喂喂喂，这边不就是喂喂喂喂喂喂喂喂？这边没有得进去，还有哪边可以走啊？哎 ，Hello， 应该没有死路的吧？对吧？我只要一直逆向的话，就不会有死路，对吧？蒙什么？蒙3 Rangers，OK， compare it in blah 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 blah。Oh no, my English！ 完，我英文真的坏掉了。应该这边应该资料室吧？可是都没有可以可以打开的地方。坏掉影印机，真的没问题吗
？Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern, Stanley. This fern will be very important later in the story.
我想听你干话。
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You wait. What? We're back at the office? No. Line. You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story. Is any of this ringing a bell?
No.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
然后重开了吗？你要重开了吗？我很期待，我超期待你重开机的。哎，这里就什么都没有，什么都没有。Nothing and nothing and nothing。啊，不对啊，他画成这样，我是要怎么走啊？意思是说往左边走，就会回到这吗 ？OK，Fine。哎呦，好恐怖哦！不要了。
Oh no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you,
又有一个人被 fire 了 ，fire 了。
No, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
哎，又来了。
You know what, Stanley?
What?
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in? Well, I don't know.
你要去耶！你真的要去 ？OK，红豆你 OK？ 真的没问题吗？哪里啊？他是开了哪边的门吗？这里吗？不对。哦，这边吗 ？OK。
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
我快晕了，
I'm
好
ready
吗？
for it.
可以不要这样吗？我快晕了，再转下去我真的要晕了。
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be
为什么
fine.
不让我们去监控室啊？我现在还蛮好奇的，到底为什么不去监控室？这条线真的没问题吗 ？OK， 这是哪？
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
我逆着闹，还没有反应哎。
Means that our destination
真的没问题
corresponds with the counter-inverted
我逆着闹，
reverse
逆着
door of
绕哎。
origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
他直接强迫我选右边哎，为什么？为什么他强迫我选右边？哎，骗人的吧？我们的司法与正义呢？我们的公平公正呢？在哪里啊 ？Hello，excuse you。啊？我晕了，但我不确定为什么而晕。Hello， 张仲慈，晚安。哎，不是哎，哎 ，baby 小人，你是 baby 吗 ？Hello。 太夸张了吧 ！Hello， somebody else？ 好吧，我过去好了。啊？什么东西？什么
Hold up, what's this?
What?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this
什
goes?
么鬼啊？
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what?
我
Am
现
I
在
just
重
supposed to
开几次
forget?
啊？
Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Huh?
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing wall. Well, who consulted me?
旁白不见了，拜拜。
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
你不开我开啊！我可
All
不
of his
在乎
co-workers
你，
were gone.
我可不
What could
在
it
乎
mean?
你。
Stanley decided to go to the
Baby
meeting room.
小人，
Perhaps he had
没
simply missed a
错。
memo.
可是如果我们照着他的要求走，会发生什么事情呢？
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
然后呢？我真的觉得那个门哦，你们知道吗？恐怖游戏那个门哦，通常会要我们过去。
Yet there was not a
然后我
single
进来这里
person
面之后，
here
后面的门会
either.
关起来，对吧？
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
对吧？
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
然后旁白说到了这边，通常的话我往这边走，要么幻灯片会变啊，要么旁边的墙会冲出一个东西来，相不相信了？恐怖游戏都是这样的啦，我恨你们，我恨你们恐怖游戏。Everyone is Uniqlo， 不是 Uniqlo。Your most of， 哦，它正在播放是不是？对啊，谁在操纵幻灯片 ？Number for side in celled on。哦，好烦哦！不要啦，我不想看这个，我现在不想看这个，再见。说是老板办公室是什么？哦，他让我开了，他让我开了。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
不行吗？
So
我
he
不
turned
能，
around and got back on track.
我不能够拿这边任何一个，就是你知道，就是我被关在那个房间那么久，然后
There was nothing here.
对啊
No choice to
我想要
make,
带
no
个
path
就
to
是
follow, just
快
an
乐产
empty
物
broom
手之类的，
closet.
例如说什么
No reason to still
那个
be
钉
here.
枪啊，或者是什么扳手啊，这就是对嘛？就是我的办公室需要钉点东西在墙上之类的啊，对吧？不让我
Coming to a
带，
staircase,
哦
Stanley
不，
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
那我要往下走，再见。你不让我带走，我就要往下走了，拜拜。哎，这里是哪里啊？哎。
But Stanley just
我要
couldn't
上
do
车
it. He considered the
哦
possibility of facing his
好可爱哦
boss, admitting he had left
我
his
还蛮
post
喜欢这种
during
车子
work
的。
hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished?
因
His
为
boss
其他
would
人都
think he
放
was
假，就只有
crazy.
我一个人没
And
放
then
假。
something occurred to Stanley.
我要
Maybe,
回
he
家了，
thought to
拜
himself,
拜。
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
哎，真的
Why
耶！
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to
确
look
实
pretty
哎，我低头
familiar.
看不到我自己
Were
的
they
脚，
simply repeating?
我低头是
No,
看不到我自
Stanley
己的
said to
脚
himself,
的。
this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at
为什么啊？
last,
为什么
he
低头
came
看不
to
到
the
自己的脚？
conclusion that had been on the
你
tip
们
of
低
his
头看到
tongue.
自己的脚
He
吗
just hadn't
？Hello？
found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer,
现
an
在在看
explanation.
的各位
His
观众，
co-workers
你们
weren't
低头看到
actually
自己的
gone.
脚吗？
He wasn't going to
不要
lose
跟我
his
说不会，
job.
因为我盘
He
腿，
wasn't
我会
crazy
揍
after
你。
all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still
哦，我真的很喜
lucid.
欢这种车
So,
子，
he imagined himself
因为游
flying,
戏预算
began to
低。
gently float above the ground.
看得到吗？哎，骗人的吧？
Then he
骗人吧？
imagined himself
对对对对
soaring
对
through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was
这里
so
是哪里啊？
much fun,
1、2、B、
and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken
谢
up.
喽。
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the
这梦，
strangest
那这个
question
梦
of
真的也
them
太
all
烂了
entered
他不让我
Stanley's
买
head.
百事可乐，
One
然后
he
也
was
不让我到处
amazed he
逛
hadn't
街，
asked himself
然后强
sooner.
迫我干嘛干嘛。
Why is there a
等一下。
voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and
你
thinking?
可以让我买一下吗？
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by
够了，
Stanley,
是因为我
who
我
found
没有
it
钱吗？
particularly strange.
不好了，
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
现在
And
他
while
连
he thought it
哦
all
有了有了。
very odd and wondered if this
Hello，
voice
可以
spoke
让
to
我
all
买吗
people in
？Hello，
their
看得到，
dreams, the truth was that it
看得到
was.
真是太好了
This，was
太可
not
怕
a。dream.
哎，不行哎，
How
到
could
底
it
在
be?
做什么？
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a
Oi.
doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
这个旁白
So
在
he
很努
closed
力
his。eyes gently, and he invited
不行，我
himself
不
to
能醒
wake
来。
up.
Hello，
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
然后我就这样
Let
死
me
掉了
wake
吗？
up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue
不
pushing
要，我
the
不要
buttons.
回去工作，不要，
It's all
不
I want.
要。
I
可以不要
want my
吗？
apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
工作就输了
Everything，will be fine.
确实。
I am okay.
No，哪里 OK 了啊？我们还是回到这里啊。
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? And everything went black.
又不让我走完。
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
所以这到底是谁的故事 ？Hello.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man
原来不是怕碰瓷，
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest
你要确定也打在路边，这个不是你接下来要会面的对象，
So it was
好
only
可
a
怕哦！
moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
你可以帮忙叫一个救护车就
And
走
then
人
she
啊
turned
，Hello，
and ran.
他可能是你未来的老板，好吗 ？Hello， 对我又重来了吗？哦，又是这里，我又回来了。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
到底
Perhaps
是不
he had
是？
simply missed a memo.
好吧，我们刚刚好像就是从半路不听从指示的，
When Stanley came to a set
不
of
听
two
从
open
指示的往
doors,
地下室
he
走，不
entered
去
the
找老
door
板，
and
这样
said
对
this
不
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
对？哎，
well.
不对耶，
Perhaps he
真
wanted
的
to
是
stop
够
by the
了。
employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was
我
sublime,
们要，
a work of
我们
art.
真的要一定
But
得
eager
要
to
就
get
照着
back to
指示
business,
走一次嘛
Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight
这
ahead
是
to
跑了
the
两个结
opposite
局吗？我不
door
知道。
and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
连
wave
谁
of
都没有。
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
那我们就不要出去吧。但是不让拿哎、我拿个那个扳手去找老板错了吗？这个不行吧？再当个杂物间香菇人，对啊。好了，我们刚
Coming
往
to a
下，对不对？
staircase, Stanley walked
往
upstairs
上
to
吧
his，
这里
boss's
可以走吗？不
office.
行。啊，为什么不让？哎、啊，杂物间一上来就是老板办公室，看起来超奇怪的。这个楼梯设置的超怪，超级突兀的。为什么不是这啊？XQTV bathroom， 哈 ？To be rich, is it a crime? To commit ？Hello， 托莫晚安。他在说什么啊？行政职专用厕所，对啊，应该是哦。总之就是个厕所。是什么？厕所用的那个，为什么会有杯子啊？不是啊，为什么旁边会有水杯啊？好奇怪哦！你上厕所为什么要用水杯？这里也有水杯，可以开水吗？我看不到我自己。哎，好脏哦！该叫人来打扫了，太脏了，太脏了。上完厕所要关门，不是欸，真的 摆设超级怪的，我只能说超怪。而除了超怪，我想不出来其他的答案，就是它的摆设好怪哦。为什么进老板办公室之后就是厕所？那应该是蜡烛，真的吗？那是蜡烛啊，可是它是空的哎，不是吧？骗人的吧？它是蜡烛，它真的是蜡烛吗？真的吗？我很好奇耶，来去看一次哦。哎呦，好痛！当然没有烛芯啊，为什么？对啊，它是杯子吧？它就是个杯子。该不会就是下面这边如果是放那种止痛药之类的给女性用，我觉得是没有什么问题。可是这个地方是老板办公室吧？对吧？这里吗？为什么是往外开？吓死我！我以为上面挂的是米老鼠。它这边是那种什么看起来很忙，但是事实上却很闲的秘书的位置嘛。然后这里是老板办公室，还是那里是老板办公室呢？看一下哈，这里吗？哦，有沙发哎，还有电梯耶，所以进来的地方其实是这边。好威严哦！这种，我觉得这种照片，是老板的照片，是老板的照片吗？字好小看不到，什么贪什么，不对，是什么？什么了？什么，我看不见，什么了？什么 ？I am the most x 什么的 boss。OK， 好吧，我不在意。哦不，酷酷熊猫不好了。Oh no，business strategy。是 strategy 吗？应该是。不，酷酷熊猫不行哎，你不能这样对待熊猫。熊猫是我们的朋友，我是只说另一个方面的熊猫。哦，那上楼还是下楼？上楼。但我还是不会先进去，我要先去看他老板的房间。我还没观赏完呢。防盗版机制。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
这是 manager 的房间吗？
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known
密码在
this.
哪？还有有人来过吗？3个人。这个是好喝的酒吗？小新应该很高兴。
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
到底谁会把那
Stanley
个
happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened
不是
passageway.
他到底谁会把那个防盗就是什么防盗面板放在那么显眼的地方啊？我要疯了！书本好多可是看起来都是假，都是印出来的，笑死！看一下，老板3根这是什么？火车吧？火车好像火车是火车吗？它是火车吗？我看一下。钢琴不能弹插屏是工厂啊，工厂排放废水，好扯哦！老板好扯哦！这是哪？逃生通道吗？怎么办呢？我觉得这边我跳下去就没有了呢，怎么办？那有办法像麦块一样按住 Ctrl 蹲着就可以抓住边缘吗？不能往上吗 ？Hello？ 哇，3、2、1。它是平地，吓死我了。我按往上它为什么
Descending deeper into the building,
他让我往下，骗人的吧
he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now? when for years it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
所以往下就是去驾驶那个钢弹或者是 Ghetto 吗？那往上会去做什么、啊？直升机吗？有听说过进出经理办公室的瞬间会把旁白关在外面。Okay. 这个先不要捏。不能往，不能，不让骗人的吧？他不给下去哦，不。哦。
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive, rapid-fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
2845，谢谢，对不起。原来刚刚那个 loading 是换地图，我以为要重来。对啊，我以为要重来。284会发生什么事吗？他不能再输入吗？我以为输入第2次会发生什么事，然后输入第3次正确会发生什么事情骗人的吧？那我们也只能下去了。
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
他不让上楼，为什么？我不接受，他为什么不让我上楼？我想上去。谢喽。
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
好冷哦，这里感觉好冷哦，这是什么？黄色的，应该是柱子没有盖吧。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read "Mind Control Facility."
啊，鬼才要去，拜拜。E-space 是什么意思啊 ？E-space。 我现在有2个选择，一个是往前走，一个是往左走，一个是走回去。走回去吗？我有办法回去吗？哦，我还可以回去。哦，出口。哦 ，OK， 好吧，那当然是往出口走啊。再见。
Although this passageway had the word "escape" written on it,
完了，我去国外一定会死掉，因为我不知道出口的意思。完了。 逃跑。
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
大家记得喝水哦。
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What? 我还以为这条路不会有尽头我想啊，像这种时候走到靠近一个点的时候，一条线的时候，就有一个人冲出来，然后开始追杀你，然后后面的门会突然关起来，然后你就会死掉，或是我就被推下去之类的。那到底几个意思啊？我就只能下去了吗？不是这样的吧？这里明明逃跑的地方不是吗？好吧，不下去不知道会有什么结果。啊 ！OK。我还活，不是我还活着哦，骗人的吧
？As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
Okay.
Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
没有，对啊，没有落地伤害，他明明超高的，骗人的吧
？Plucking the eyeballs from a blind man, and so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
骗人的吧
？Farewell, Stanley.
这游戏不能跳吗？ 拜拜。
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, yay!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
对呀，我到底要玩啥会啊？我们到底玩了些什么？过几分钟之后会回到从头开始的地方。哎，可以哦，还可以继续走，还可以继续走，还可以继续走。不是刚刚那个没有落地伤害太扯了吧？那怎么看都是就没了好吗？
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
啊，所以他连风景画都是计划好的吗？不是吧？好可怕哦！史丹利的电脑，办公室的布局。这张蓝图显示了游戏开始时的办公室，从史丹利的办公室到2扇门的路径是首先制作的游戏部分，在整个开发过程中添加和改变了若干部分，但核心布局依然与第一次相同。好扯哦，太夸张了吧！幕后花絮，走廊。把这开场部分节奏搞乱，节奏搞正确很重要。这条走廊经过了移动和更改，以确保玩家在合适的时间到达2扇门那里。哦，文件柜哦，谢谢娘 pass 的追随 ，Thanks for following。办公室的电脑就是你哦，我把它关掉，就是他，就他一个在那边在玩接龙。班不认真，好，但我也会这样做。办公室以前的1990年代的办公室都是这样的吗？就很久之前的那种电脑，003、002、001办公室，好可怕哦！还是不让我开，这游戏真的不能跳吗？按钮生效。OK。整个游戏中，当按钮被按下的时候，会发出一些精选的声音，每个声音都是由键盘敲击声和合成音混合而成。喂，所以我破完了吗？这游戏太快了吧！无可挑剔的 Kevin Brownsing 及旁白，谢喽。那个旁白真的其实很烦。可以想象吗？老板的办公室，好卖快哦！我的天哪！先从左边到右边，再到中间。OK， 办公室的时钟感受出来是办公室的时钟没有错。这里呢？这里能到哪？哦，休息室、地下室，地下室超可怕的。我觉得地下室真的是。旁白器用的片段。2年的开发过程中，旁白的配音员 Kevin 为整个游戏录制了大约3遍不同的对话，这些是早期的片段，在最终游戏对话中没有使用。好可怕哦！我就不要待在这里了，戒了。谢谢你，碎碎念大哥。不需要，不需要，我们不需要啦，谢喽，已经解完了。自由结局。这是在阿尔法版中自由结局中最初的表现。OK， 到非洲大草原是呗？倒数计时桌，早期版本倒数计时结局中的一张桌子。OK， 监控室的电梯，自由结局，这是 beta 版中的自由结局。OK， 所以我们还是没有自由嘛？倒数计时室，哦，那我只解到其中，这算是其中一个结局吗？被碾碎，禅宗结局啊！所以我现在被捏他了吗 ？Hello， 还是根本就没有这些结局？拉不了拉杆。菜单结局 ，OK。很久以前，我们有一个结局，当玩家暂停并从暂停菜单中选择重新开始的时候，才会结束。遗憾是，很少有玩家意识到这样的采取操作让人感到沮丧。啊，什么意思？我选了好几次重新开始，怎么会这样呢？这里是哪里？公寓的计时器。以前的一个版本里面，导致公寓结局的选择会出现一个计时器，给你15秒时间接电话，不接电话会导致不同一个结局。吼，货柜的电梯，货运的电梯，办公室。这消遣笔记真的很可爱，我还蛮喜欢的。这种消遣笔记真的是会让大家一直玩的东西，然后铅笔的耗损率就很高。就是铅笔会瞬间被吃掉，在吃干妈记的铅笔。对，这就是结局的房间吗？好可怕哦！这算是一种结局吗？就是所以我到底解到了什么结局，我连我自己都不知道。这也是给旁白的电子邮件 ，from哇。How did you make a JRPG？ 什么？在我们发布第二个预告片之后，我们请求人们通过电子邮件向旁白提出问题。虽然我们最初计划使用这些材料作为进一步的宣传，但我们一直没有找到它们完美用途。以下是电子邮件的一部分。Are you a rocker？ 好酷哦！太酷了吧！所以这是结局吗？这里是结局吗？因为我现在困惑的事情是，就是这里找到出口吗？看一下，维修室的布局，会议室，哦，这里有了。
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Oh?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
What?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop.
我又回到这里了。
Fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
真的假的？
As you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
他要我离开这游戏吗？真的假的？一定要离开这游戏吗？等一下。
Don't let
我回到这里，所以真的离开就是不玩这个游戏才是这个游戏的结局。
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need.
又是你。
If I can make it through this door, I can
你要
make it
pass
through
完。
them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
完了，我不知道选的是不好的结局。好了，我知道尾巴我在干嘛了。等一下。
Yet there was not a single person here
我们先一路走到底。
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
为
Stanley
什么？
decided to go up to his boss's
这是我可
office,
以打
hoping he
混的
might
地
find
方
an answer
骗
there.
人的吧？骗人的吧？为什么？我想要，我的扳手，我的扳手在里面，我的扳手啊！粪便呢？到底在
Coming to a
干嘛？
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
不
office.
是粪便到底在干嘛啦？那厕所还能进去吗？我还可以在厕所偷闲的意思就对了，他不让我去那边偷闲的，反而让我到厕所偷闲。 我谢了，真是感谢你啊！哎，有什么毛病？对我这边还没有下去。好，我们上去看一下好了。这里还没有走过。哦，快乐的、欢快的那个欢快的电梯音乐。上厕所偷懒，太夸张了，在干嘛啦？啊？头上问号显很大到底是？不对啊，我们能上到哪边去啊 ？Hello？ 嗯？妈！啊？啊？啊？啊？What？ 这只是一个模拟电梯吗？你骗我啊！好，黑尾夜晚，早安。房间对，没错。在干嘛啊？我也想要一个这个房间，不行，这太酷了吧！然后一定要放，不会放那种什么奇怪的轻松音乐，要放就要放瑞克摇啊，谁都可以放这个啊。当你发现的时候，你只是进来被摇了一下而已啊。不是啊，这老板品味真有够差。不是，我头好痛，什么鬼啊？那你的 Fox 老板一定每天在电梯里面模拟遇到下属要讲什么，只是一个会震动的房间，笑死！不是这到底是什么鬼啦？不是。我不能被门夹，骗人的吧？只是一个假，这真的是假电梯，他们还没有就是夹到人会自动弹开的那个功能，太假。对啊，我只要按下这边的按钮，然后我就不能出去了。它有设定，它不让人就是去被电梯门夹，什么鬼啊？笨 game， 气死人了！不过我在麦块里面因为做这个，整我吧，气死我了。气死了！用音乐盒加那个应该就可以，有可能可以做出来。看一下这个秘书平时在干嘛？是什么 ？The build the blah 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 blah。OK， 日报。对啊，这太夸张了吧？怎么会是假的？骗人的吧？
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned an extra secret pin number.
把保险箱放在这么明显地方。
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
Hello, 莫英晚安。
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
就真的只有这里。 家有看过那个吗？绝对无敌吗？绝对无敌的那个小学生们，就绝对无敌雷神王小学生们进驾驶舱之前是这种感觉吗？还是在学校在维修都是这种感觉？啊，我就进去看看，我就进去嘛。大不了就是按 reset， 气死了，我分 game， 气死了。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television.
所以我们刚刚走到上面是不是
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought.
我还不能多按几次？
Did he have the
骗人的
strength
吧？
to find out?
我还不能多按？我想多按几次，为什么不能让我多按几次？我想开灯关灯不行这游戏到底要多愤啊？它不能开灯关灯，然后电梯是假的，然后也不能够就是对，没错，不能够的事情太多了。到底怎么愤 game 啊？指示图都是这样的吗？哎。一群指示图，有病吧？太夸张了，太夸张了！来看，充满烟蒂，对吧？这是什么啊？没了。
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
大家都被关在这边吗？这边总共有多少人？看一下，本来有601个人的样子，好夸张哦！能按第2次吗？我不行，下一个走道。所以我们老板就是坐在这边吗？这是什么？电梯吗？
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
What?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the
Hello,
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
奇怪的粪 game， 等一下，不是所以他就是我们老板跟其他3个经理之类的，就坐在这个房间里面，然后每天在看大家在干三小这样吗？骗人的吧？好，然后旗下员工只要就是照着屏幕指示打，就是用一只手输入对应按键就可以了。骗人的吧？这么好康的工作，就是他们下属领的薪水到底有多少，真是令人好奇。
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
怎么不可能
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Hello, 安九晚安。当然可能啊，怎么不可能？不可能。
The heart of the operation, controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
办法吗？一劳永逸，把这个装置给关了。Oh, Systems Power on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
我不能开了再关吗？
Stanley, I applaud your
effort.
I really do. But you
我
need
想
to
要开关
understand,
不行
there's
吗？
only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desire.
我只剩2分钟就离开这里吗
Much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
都不用甩灵感的吗？我也在好奇这件事
One
情。
of them is more time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
哦，该不会是？
A moment of solace.
可是2分钟以内来得及吗？我现在突然走路走得很慢。
You're gonna die anyway. I'll
人
tell
数
you
都得
exactly
死。
what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
时间来不及了啦，没救了，
This
没救
version
了
of，events has been rather amusing.
应该是没救了
Watching
吧
you？try to make sense of everything
三
and
是
take back the
三是
control
绿色，
wrested away from
蓝
you.
色的
It's quite rich. Almost
蓝色在
hate
哪
to
里
see
啊？
it go. But I'm sure whatever I
蓝色
come
在
up
哪
with
啊
on the
？Hello，
next go around
还是那个
will
刚刚那个
be
是
even
哦，
better. My goodness, only 34 seconds
对
left.
了，在这吗
But？I'm enjoying this so much.
快爆，快
You
爆，
know
快爆，
what?
快爆
To！hell with it. I'm going to put some
二
extra
在哪里
time
啊？
on the clock. Why not?
2是紫色，
These are precious
这个是
additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow
有了
on
有了，紫
trees.
色，
Oh dear me,
这个
what's
吗
the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to
哎
be
不
doing
对
right，now?
什么鬼啊？
Or did you just
四是
assume
黄色
when you saw
的，
that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
What?
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
快爆炸吧！
These
这
numbered
这鬼地
buttons.
方，快爆
No,
吧！
these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything.
那1也不
Something
给
here
按，
will
为什
save
么啊？
me.
骗人的吧？
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved?
疯狂
Do you
塞按
have
钮，
any idea
满
what
足
your
按钮
purpose in this
控
place is?
疯了。3号在哪？没有3呢。
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
哦，
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
该不会是
It's a tragedy.
但是
You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first.
3是蓝色啊
so you，
没了
can't.，
该不会爆了吧？
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30
哎
seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending.
What?
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go
Goodbye,
peacefully?
Compet.
Another choice.
不行哎，为什么？骗人的吧？
It's all the same to me.
看来是
All
没有
part
没有
of
的
the
没有
joke.
的解了吧？
And
没
believe
解了吧？
me,
8
I
秒
will。be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in
哇哇哇
until the moment I say happily ever after.
哎，要不要重来一次吧？啊！这刚刚那边是一定会爆炸的吗？还是有办法那个的？我现在在乎的这个，刚刚那边是一定会爆的吗？
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They
GG。
never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
啊，刚刚那边是一定会爆炸的吗？永远不要在乎，
When
真的就是
Stanley
这件
came
事
to
情，
a
就
set
是
of
我
two
有办法
open
解
doors,
开那个，
he entered the door on his left.
我要再让它爆炸一次，我要让它再爆一次，我没有办法接
Yet there
受
was。not a single
一定会
person here
哦。
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
不，哭哭熊猫。
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the
说的好
floor,
像
he
我很
lay
喜欢工作一样，醒醒哎！
paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, He found a keypad behind the boss's desk.
快点，快点，告诉我密码。
What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
为什么不会卡进去那个缝里啊
Amazing.
？OK。
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
指挥厅组合，不是啊，那个，让我去开车。太夸张了，这游戏太夸张了吧？一定会爆炸吗？哈。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
可是还蛮好玩的。开灯，开灯，开灯，开灯。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
我不正在找答案吗？话都你在讲，气死了。
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true
真的就是3个人在这边看着
Each
所有
bore
的
the number
monitor。
of an employee in the building. Stanley's
然后
co-workers.
在这边
The
就
lives of
是
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
走人，走人，走人，走人。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
没办法，一个一个好好的看房间这件事情，我觉得很可惜。来选一个好一点的房间。392看起来好像不错。啊，繁星。对啊，392看起来那个房间不错，看起来很老板，非常像是老板的房间啊。
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, hi.
But here was the proof.
Hello,
the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another.
好了，我就照指示做咯，不要再说我们没我又干嘛了？
Blackness and a rising chill
What?
of uncertainty. Was it over?
奶像红茶不是初见男人。
Yes.
Yes.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from
Freedom!
someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
谢谢使用说明书的 follow，Thanks for following.
Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other
对，关掉按钮
mysteries
没有
did this
DNA
strange
检查。
building
对啊，
hold?
超奇怪
But
的。
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had
是
been
楼梯。
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
我还不
No
能往前。
longer would anyone tell him where to go,
What?
what to do, or how.
该不会这又是假的吧？骗人的吧？
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
真的吗？真的吗？你不要骗欸，真的吗？
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
他终于好好的离开那个社畜工厂了，是吗？终于吗，史丹利？史丹利，你终于离开那里了，呜呼！可感觉不是哦。嗯，这刚刚那个是其中一个结局吗？嗯？嗯？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh? 大草原结局，不是啊？确实，嗯，对，嗯。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
好，我们就先往前直走看一下。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
我能走下去吗？再见。
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Nice 我刚刚就有这种事欸，但是
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
所以我被罚钱吗？应该没有吧。他刚刚不是写说什么掉下去要被罚钱什么之类的。
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded. 那我要多掉几次欸？看一下我再掉下去会罚多少钱。 Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, not there. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
你会死。如果在中间突然掉下去的话，你会死。
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
对啊，刚刚那个，我觉得这边会死，然后在那个什么奇怪的地方不会死掉，现在才蛮奇怪。
The story has been about nothing but you all this time.
可以吗？可以吗？
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
3。
Someone you forgot. Really?
Nice.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
No.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm
Danger everywhere. 这个警告标语有写跟没写一样，都在干嘛？到处都很危险。到处都很危险啊！哦，好危险啊！这是个危险的观众，这是一群危险的观众，到处都很危险。放不进去耶，我没办法进去。哦，这是哪？这是这 ，OK。B3。这是什么 ？Warning: do not stand on the side of fence。嗯？不要站在这里，不要站在不要到另外一侧。Not a bucket. Past the input。哦，里面不可以带饮料。 啊，这代表说里面不能买喝的吗？
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
我会闪现
Stanley walked through the red door.
那红色好像不
I
错，
still
但是
don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
不能让我去看蓝色的底端有什么吗？我就是个支线厨啊！你怎么可以这样对我啊？太过分了！哎，shit。
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
开始歇斯底里耶，好棒哦！
Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Nice.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
你们看，你们看，你们看，
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some
这就是
feedback.
奇怪的观众。
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
但我还是想要走失。抱歉哦，这是什么强迫选择时间吗
Okay,
？Hello，
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
到这里有什么感受吗？超刺激的啦！
Ah, you see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut.
OK，
I
你
really
不用再
couldn't
吹
say
你自
where
己
the
了
idea
，Hello。
came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Hello，
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this
那
one.
快让我看看
Let's
呢
take a！look.
开门。哦，嗨。哦，这是那个 RTA 的人吗？第一名怎么只用2秒啊？啊？ What？ 杜老晚安。啊，居然在这！哦不，
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard
竞争性排行榜，原来是放竞争性排行榜吗？
Please.
当然是1啊，这东西对我来
Hey,
讲
I
没有用
nearly。forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
所以
You
我
wouldn't
现
mind
在，
taking a look at it, would you?
所以我现在是免费的那个 debug 专员吗 ？Hello，
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right.
巨
And
大
if
的
he
婴
reaches
儿
the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game.
这是同学 A 吗
All about the desperation and
还是
tedium
有
of
人 A？
endlessly
如果是有人 A 的
confronting
话
the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
你要确定
But
哎
of。course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
Huh?
So why
Wait.
don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
No no no
Be
no no
sure
no
to
no no，
keep
不需
notes
要
on
不需
your
要不需要，
experience.
4小时。好吵哦。
You heartless Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Spite
Because if
you
it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't
你
think
怎么
of
可以
a
玩
single
婴
thing
儿啊
that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Yes。
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
来吧。What?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
植物观测员吗？
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
这好眼
And
熟，
it
对啊
seems
对啊
there's。even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
这边好棒哦！超想要一个这样的家就是我们可以把东西拿掉，然后把那个把那个电脑桌那些放在这个位置，然后这边就是餐厅嘛，对，然后这边的话也可以，就是要么放这边电脑桌，要么放那边电脑桌，然后我们的衣柜可以放在这个位置，然后对啊，我觉得超棒的然后需要一个沙发，灵物袁绍塔，对啊，超棒的不好吗？不好吗？超酷的，我觉得房间那么大就够了，不用再大了。再大真的太大。哦，我走错边了，对不起。我在小木屋，对啊，这是树屋吧？好棒哦，真的超棒的。风好大啊！这里风好大，好冷，我在天台上。天哪！这里会有网络吗？当然有，像是某个游戏的场景。
No, it can't be.
哦，好棒哦！我觉得
It is. It's an open world game. Good God,
开放
quickly block it off.
哇！
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, 荒郊野岭接网络很花钱，没问题啊。
为什么是有墙的游戏啊？
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
啊，这也太眼熟了吧！这个是
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just
你可以
a
不要再
nice big
抄了吗
box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost
我要
here.
疯了，
Now
我要疯了！
this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
不是足球，它是开车玩足球游戏。
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
我要疯
There are
了
lots！of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh,
他们
what
真的不会被告
We
吗？
shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
真的不会被告吗？我要疯了！
Hold on. What are you doing?
拜拜。
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
终于安静了。Oh no！ 我不是要掉下去一次吗？嗨，501不对，是510。Nice。哇，我想这样吧。那有了。可是好想进去把那个关掉。他们这游戏真的是这家公司真的嫌电不够多太夸张了 ，Stanley， 你待这个公司实在是太过分了。这一定不是恐怖游戏对吧？对，它不是恐怖游戏。Hello， 一和晚安。它不是，太棒了。这里做什么？我什么都不能做啊！不好了，隔壁也不让我进去。既然准备那么多小游戏，
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's got wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
No.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end
No.
to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
No.
That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way.
No!
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Get out of here.
The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Very soon?
I can wait.
又有新的结局吗？太棒了！还是被吓到。不。好了，要从头了吗 ？OK， 好了。这是一个那个整个公司只有我一个人在上班的故事，然后有一个奇怪的指示厨在疯狂的意淫，发生什么事情这样
Oh, new content?
New
What does that
content.
mean? New content.
Bye bye. What? Oh.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Okay.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world
那个笑脸也太可爱了。
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures
那
await
个办公
in the
那个
Stanley
档
Parable
案柜的那个
Ultra
把手看起来真的
Oh,
超级
well,
可
this
怕。
sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
希望咯。
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
OK。
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or there we go. All right, finally, at long last.
他只是在读档啦，我们等他一下，他只是在读档啦。
I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
终于有上楼的电梯了，哎，太好了吧，太好了，终于，终于我真的上楼的电梯。
Say initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
What? 没有内容吗
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
他这边跳30下吗？他只能在那边跳吗？哎，真的哎，为什么？为什么？哎，其他地方为什么不能跳？不行吧？太夸张了吧？为什么其他地方不能跳？好，跳完会世界末日吗？3、2、1，新年快乐！哎，不能。给我重置哦！哎，太夸张了吧？他真的
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
OK 哦。
Another elevator.
有
Stanley,
攻击
I have
判
to
定。
say, initial impressions of this game
太
are
夸张
not
了。
positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
OK
Very
OK。
good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thanks you
That's it?
for joining the
Oh,
new
you've got to be
content.
kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still
这种感觉像是前面买了一个超神的神作，然后第二那个什么这部录影的2突然的坏掉了，这种感觉吗？我保证我没有在抽任何作品啊，那个什么最后什么东西的。
What do you say, friend?
这就是太从众的下场吗 ？OK 的，我知道了。哦，怎么变这样？哦 ，OK。Where we go?
Psst, Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
这很吸引我，但是，唉。这个通风口嘛，为什么不能走门呢？好吧，我们去看一下吧。喂。
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content
他想跟我 complain 这件
it
事
got me
情。
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
等一下，
Take a look.
等一下这个，我刚刚看到这个，没有看到办公椅的时候，我想说啊，真的假的？黑魂系列吗？
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had
为什么会有1块美
integrity.
金啊？
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
真是白费。不能走下去吗？哎，不行，为什么？哎，你的物件阻挠了
And
我。
over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "We're so many games that aspire to be more than games."
我不想在这边听你唠叨，我要出去。再见。
Stanley.
No no no， 我不想在这边听你歌功颂德。
Oh.
再会。
You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you?
再
Well,
会。
fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
到底有谁会喜欢到处歌功颂德的人类啊？
When
而且
Stanley
歌功
came
颂
to
德
a
的
set
还
of
不是
two
自己
open
的。
doors, he entered the door on his left.
10%。对啊，10%到底是什么样的概念啊？全部人都觉得这游戏超神吗？
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
哇，
of
这看起来像是我的
Stanley
schedule。
decided to go back to his boss's office, hoping he
没有了，
might
不是
find
不
an
是不
answer
是 meeting
there.
schedule 哦。Do not later without consulting with borrow what manager 怎么了吗 ？OK， 这边的那个。哦，
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
厕所没有动静，我们电梯到底可不可以啊？它都有可以上去的电梯了。 帮我们上去吧，电梯。还是你就只是一个大型的那个开趴地方，满足有什么特殊需求的人类。看来是没有，但是他是没有办法放我们就是去楼上哎，明明就有感觉像楼上的空间，唉。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered? Desperate for answers, he began turning the room over looking for clues that might unravel the situation, until at last he discovered a keypad behind the boss's desk. But alas, no code. For this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 28445. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
OK.
Yet incredibly, by simply
他们有其他
pushing
组
random
密码
buttons
吗？
on the
除了这组密码之
Stanley
外，
happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
我明明按得上，它还是往下哎，真是令人感到害怕呢。这电梯是假的吧？假电梯，哎，太假了。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
密码好像只有一个小彩蛋，真的假的？
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
啊，这边还是只会死掉吗？这么难过的。
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
那个掉落判定没有掉落。这个电梯看起来像送餐的，对啊，我们是什么好吃的吗？
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
啊，现在没办法绕到那个可以跳脱正轨的地方。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
应该
horror!
是一样的。等我一下，我回到那个可以让我们跳脱正轨的地方。好，那个跳下去那个 danger。啊，现在没办法去 danger 了吗？啊，我想要去那个到处都很危险的地方哎。 超想的。
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine.
啊，对哦，超危险的地方是那个右边的门。抱歉，雪豹全餐，不，
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
有了，这里 ，Go。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
5 years
Stanley, I think
ago.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. Really?
Really?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for
No.
others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Bye.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Thank you.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
好，我们来选红色的门。
Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
我还是觉得就是把他弄到快要疯掉，然后强迫我们做什么事，真的很好笑。然后这个门，现在在想这个门要怎么？好想过，可恶，好想过那个门。我们晚点再摸摸看看有没有机会去走那个门。好，先走红色的门。
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time.
No
The
thanks.
problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
他在让我绕圈圈下去，我要晕了。哦，喂，哦，
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
还没有顶部，它只有一半。
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Nice.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Say no.
No!
Oh. What?
Thank God. You lived.
哦，摔一次没用，那
You
就要
had
摔
me
第二
worried
次
there
啊
for a moment. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Say no.
Stanley, let's
那
go
要
back
怎么
to
样
the
才
other room.
能才能摔死啊
Can？you do that
这已
for
经
me?
超过一层楼嘞，他怎么还没死啊？不是，我怎么还没死啊？
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get it. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
哎，对，摔伤他居然摔伤会做那个走路变慢的那个判定。这地方跟这种人说话，感觉像字幕方向以前任那种光团科以前任职的光团科技在那里烂透了，对吧 ？Hello。
Is it over?
Is it over?
It's going to restart, isn't it?
Nice.
I'm going back.
好了，晚安。
Psst. Stanley!
No.
Come over here. Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine.
Not surprised,
You're a dork
thank you.
anyway, so who cares?
没有 surprise, motherfucker。进不去。 你居然把我喜欢的地方给锁起来，那就没有
When Stanley came to a
surprise
set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
没有，
by
我
the
不是要去
employee
员工
lounge
休息室，
first,
我要去那个很
just to
危险的
admire
地
it.
方。真的很危险的地方总这样吗？
The
不会吧？
But eager
那
to
个危
get
险
back
应该
to
不只有
business,
这样的吧？
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
再会。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
因为我有办法跳到那个
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
那个
here.
车上，然后
I'm
不
not
摔
your
死。
enemy,
我现在
really,
在
I'm
想
not.
这件事情。
I realize that investing your trust in
Ooh.
someone else can be difficult, but the
Is
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah.
What? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
No?
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
Important?
Stanley walked through the red door. Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through... Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. 可你只会带我到那个奇怪的小空间啊，所以我在那小空间可以得到什么？ trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running
这游戏的翻译可以更好，真的。
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop.
因为他没有非常在地化这样。他没有繁体中文的翻译，他目前只有简体，他目前官方只有出简体。
Well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
不需要。哎！Oh no！ 拜拜。哦。
What do we want? What are we looking for?
哎，我不能往黑暗中走去。
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this... No, wait. Where are you going?
伤心难过的地方。
Stay on the stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
或者按 reset 就会 reset 啊。
We'll lose all of this. Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just.
哎，门只剩下一个哦。所以我 stay here 可以得到什么？ 我不能继续往前走啊！他强迫我待在这个小空间里面啊，然后看了一些很廉价的花式烟火嘛，很廉价的烟火。哎，所以这里只能走到那样的结局吗？就是把自己摔死的结局。
No, what do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
对，我在这边读。 我就这边放着过1个小时之类的吗
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
这是什么情勒旁白啊！我要疯了哎！天哪！Go back, go back！ 萤幕保护程式，这比萤幕保护程式还廉价好吗？拜托，萤幕保护程式做的比这个用心多了，真的真的。所以我们要在这边待超过1个小时吗？还是其他？我真的很好奇耶！这边该不会就是？ 对啊，你们想想，这是一个他觉得很心灵祥和的地方，跟就是我走下去之后，我就开始歇斯底里，对吧？我靠近这个楼梯。
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die.
好可怕。
What about this isn't getting through to you? Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
No!
Oh, thank God you lived. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
如果这样走回去会发生什么事情？
Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
可是有没有其他离开的地方？哇，变红了，变红了！
I know you'll see.
原来摔一摔就会变红吗？
We can't be happy if we leave
越
this
摔越
place.
红。
You can see that,
OK
can't
哦，
you?
大家记得喝水哦。所以我们要在这边待到什么时候？待到那个待到隔一天，已经隔天了，我的天哪！现在已经5月9号了，各位。现在已经5月9号了，我的天哪！哇！现在已经到底在干嘛？现在已经5月9号，我们到底在干嘛？我们到底在这个地方做什么啊？体悟心灵祥和。可如果他放的是极光的话，我比较高兴一点。就偏耐久台，不是真的不用啊！这种耐久真的是不用。好困惑哦，什么鬼啊？令人困惑的，这还蛮适合开杂谈台用，你们知道吗？好，我让我自己靠近一点。其实是歌会吧？我现在开歌会开到早上嘛？ 你们不觉得很适合歌回吗？超像歌回，超像歌回的那个背景，在游戏里面寻找歌回背景的我是否搞错了些什么？这是什么歌？这真的是歌回背景哎！不然就我来看一下，我来瞧瞧啊，等我一下。对啊，有够合适。为什么？这很适合放 Shooting Star。对啊，到底在干嘛？不是，到底在干嘛？我很困。我们到底在干嘛？就是这个我。到底是怎么个回事吧？这个背景，我来找一下，我再找一下。转吧转吧，七彩霓虹灯，嘿，不是啦，不是，到底在干嘛？要唱点什么吗？七彩的星空，不要再，你们不可以乱改词，会被告啦。我到底在玩什么？我到底玩了些什么？我到底干了些什么好事啊？我到底做了些什么啊？鬼啊！这鬼吧？到底在做什么？这个。好了，我们看一下，该不会真的不行这个，所以这边就是这样子吗？就是一定要跳到岛为止吗
？No, perhaps not.
好，我先坐回来好，我觉得还在干嘛？喂。抱歉，真的，那里也没有办法，就是说。
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
还有其他结局可以解吗？那也不让我开门。
Am I reading the situation correctly?
看来这边是真的要跳了，可是我不太想跳了。哇，刚刚那边就是一个很适合开歌回的背景太夸张了。然后这边是他的碎念的地方，不需要。
You don't want to see the cool surprise?
所以那个 danger 的地方就只有这样了。所以游戏已经解完了吗？我来偷看一下，还有什么结局吗？对不起，我来偷看一下我成就，我是不是有跳出一些成就之类的东西，还是他根本就没有成就？我要疯了。成就，他总共有几个结局啊？真是让我感到，我看一下啊，他有多少个成就？他有好多成就，他有一个888888888的成就，哈？他有一个8888888的成就，我看一下，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9，还有9个成就。Competence 对啊 ，Danger 那里有条件完成，条件解完才会有新的哦。谢谢秒。哇，还有403，430哦。Super Go Outside， Don't playing the Stanley Parable for the 10 years。不玩这个游戏10年的话，就可以得到这个成就，什么鬼啊 ？Welcome back。对，要离开这游戏，再打开它一次就可以得到那个成就，好吧？这还蛮简单的，我可以先完成这一个。 我们到底在干嘛啦？其实还有蛮多结局的，真的假的？我现在只解到其中几个。现在时间是12点16分，差不多了吧？等一下，在我们开始之前，我可以说几句话吗？谢谢你在2次启动游戏时都真正的设置了时钟。哈，真的假的？有人不会认真吗？很多人都不认真对待这一步，他们只是任意时钟设在12点，然后就不管了。但你真的花时间设置了时钟，我对此表示赞赏。哈，这样我就可以知道你很在乎这一个体验，你有在加以注意。我甚至没有办法知道你所设置的时间是否是正确的。这样吧，我跟你做个交易 ，OK？ 既然你这么合作，下次你启动游戏可以看到这个界面时，就把时钟调到你最喜欢的时间。最喜欢的时间吗？来吧，选择你想要的任何时间，即使它不是当前正确的时间，这是你赢得的。好吧，我现在让你回到游戏中去。哇，好酷哦！真的假的？真的没有？大家真的都不会认真设置游戏里面的时间吗？除了神奇宝贝，就是对啊，宝可梦也会吧？为什么？宝可梦应该说神奇宝贝，大家应该会吧？啊，好了。大家应该都会认真设时间吧？在玩游戏的时候，大家会认真设置时间吗？如果它有那个时间设置的部分，旁白音不见，那等我一下。哇，旁白被吃掉了，旁白，呜呼，声音。哇，声音真的不见了，怎么会这样？我声音被吃掉了，我的旁白被吃掉了，都喜哦。我的旁白重开就跳了，哇！太糟糕了，这样。现在应该有。
I call it the memory zone.
OK， 回来。
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories.
其实刚刚开始那边是没有声音的，所以就这里。
Whenever I
进游戏才会有旁白声。
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
我能够跳过这里吗？不是说跳过这个房间，这个房间
is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
自肥，对啊，就是一个自肥房啊！我想离开这里。
It isn't even a Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
它更新了吧？下面是什么？维修室吗？打不开。哦不。 他真的是只是厨够咯。那个神秘小门。
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game.
Let me out! 哦，抱歉，我走错门。
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no.
不是吧？该不要到邪教村庄吧？
Stanley,
不
it's
要。
a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collected down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
确实。
Funny?
I'm funny.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
不能进去。
Okay, let's see what this one says.
他好像真的是去解，就是
For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
你就是个指示主啊
You can tell
，Hello。
me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You are
Oh,
preachy.
goodness. This is actually quite shocking for
你
me.
就是个指示主啊
I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse
No,
to
no,
begin
no,
with.
no.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did.
No, no.
But maybe it wasn't.
你就是在干涉史丹利的生活啊
Awful
，Hello。
memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise
哦，你
unimpeachable
应该要
track
这样做
record.
啦，难怪你不会
I
红，
feel like a failure.
不
Like
就
I
是
let
这样
these
的
people
人
down.
吗？Hello，
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as. What's this one got to say?
就是这种指示图才会变烂，好
to
吗
stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
我也希望有跳过按钮
A。skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
有海鸥
Not
哎
if it means
好
we
可爱
can。strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
我们会有一个吗？真的吗？哦
And
，Speak。
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Oh, bon,
You're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on.
开始三流
didn't you?
演言
But
上的
that's
开
the
始
power，
真
of the button. The
的。
minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk
他到
to
底是
again.
国
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that
这
time.
些指示
just
图活着
sitting
就是
here,
太孤单
not
寂
a
寞冷
single
吗？
person to
原来
speak
如
to.
此啊！
And you... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and...
你确定不讲话喽？你确定不讲话喽？好，太棒了！这算是义务教育的成功吗？时钟已经没电了。不能上去，好可惜。 按一次。
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should...
看来义务教育并没有成功，他只不过是把自己抱怨的时间给延后了，就他还是有那个抱怨或者是那个觉得说你应该要这样做的那个心理的。
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
OK。就是为什么有些人会月经式的发一些劝导文。世界崩坏了，我的天哪！哎，这边有洞。哦，不对，这边是它天花板。到底过了多久啊？能出去吗？有办法可以让我出去吗？或者墙壁没有坏掉？哎，为什么啊？都已经长出这些哦，有吃的耶，看起来像咖啡吗？不对，这应该不是咖啡，它是某种果子。过了10年嘛 ，2000 years later，2000年过去了，各位。嗯，怎么变这样？核弹爆炸了吗？还是感觉好可怕哦？没事，我们继续按下去就会知道答案。啊？再按下去会遇到蓝色机器猫吗？我觉得会遇到黄色的。啊，按钮还能按吗？哦，可以出去了，太好了。What？ 我都整到这里，我不能再往前。哦，可以。这是2000年以后吗 ？Hello？ 那我回去再按的话会发生什么事啊？还可以按吗？来看一下时间的尽头，回到最初的起点吗？最初的感动。好像干掉我，什么？为什么读档了？嘿，不让我按吗？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
太过分了。太过分 ！What? New con... 呜，新内容。
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
哦，这是刚刚的那个是不是一样的东西？哎，怎么会有是在这个地方呢？哎，不对，不是一样的吗？完了，我刚刚忘记看另外一边。
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark.
这是 new 新的内容。
Should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
新东西，怎么越看越像脑业公司啊？好可怕哦！有那个风格。
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them.
干，这是个粪
It
作。
will work itself out. Game
这是个粪作，它居然没有百事可乐。
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
骗人的吧？它是粪作吧？没有百事可乐的游戏就是粪作。它没有百事就算，它连可口可乐都没有，太愤了吧？怎么会这样呢？
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
显示正在游玩玩家的按钮，按钮在哪？可口可乐得1分，没有啊，都没有啊。看起来是都没有啊，连可口可乐都没有，奇怪的饮料。他讲的那个按钮在哪里啊？我想去按那个按钮，看一下现在有谁得不到赞助。
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
南桥吉姆。
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
粪作。
I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
很努力制作的功能嘛，我觉得这已经够羞辱你，你知道吗？南桥吉姆不太对吧？
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
这是尾声嘛？设置世界冠军，无限探索免费的成就，免费成就在哪？看着笑容如此灿烂，看起来太灿烂了吧？这灿烂的笑容，然后，对啊，怎么看都像是有趣的地方。
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
你要确定耶？它都坏掉就对了，气死人了！骗我花时间走过来这里，门也打不开，垃圾场也打不开，怎么会这样呢？太过分了吧，这游戏欺骗玩家的感情。
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
我已经没有跳跳的。
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
已经没有跳跃的选项了。
You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
有什么新东西吗？又是那个。好，猪肉晚安。
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them.
什么鬼啊？这地方？
the hell on with your
这是什么鬼地方啊？我要疯了！我天啊 ！What？ 只有我收集6个吗？好可怜哦，吉姆，你变成大家收集的对象了！我的天啊！
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
不能收集这个吗？大的。好吧，看来是不行。我不能选择它，太难受了。无限生动是什么？看看。这是什么 ？No。
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version,
well
the office
someday.
could use a bit of decoration, like
Happy
balloons.
12th.
But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday 啊
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
那我选快乐12岁生日是有什么屁用啊？我想看唉，粪 game， 我到底为什么要花2个小时玩这个粪 game？
No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
太愤了吧！到底在干嘛？嘿。
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
你是说抱着那个水桶，然后狂吐猛吐的时候吗
of jarring cognitive dissonance
Bucket.
while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more
就抱着它
convenient
狂
solution
吐
for
猛吐
me
这样。
than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
离开这里吗？
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
或者你喝醉酒的时候
All
会
this and
用，
more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
不能还他怎么办？你可以放我出去了吗 ？Hello， 我拿着水桶就跟白痴一样，我不知道在干嘛。Hello，excuse you， 而且为什么他们都要在角落放？但是要我去角落吧，不让我出去，他也不让我做啊！到底是要怎样？水桶使用方式是错的吗？这里没有装水的地方啊，不然你要我做什么？你到底要我做什么啊？好了，好了，好了。 我要如何使用我的？哦，可以出去了。没想到他在这不让我出去，我要生气了。要 reset。
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
跳要去健身洞，都走完嘞。
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term... All right.
探洞还没去吗？探洞去过了不是吗？
Ready to move on now?
探洞去过了吧？探洞哦，那个 hell， 那个 hold。我以为那个探洞是那个，是这个 bucket。这个吗？
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious constructions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever?
What?
The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hill. Oh, for heaven! You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. A weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow.
为什么烟蒂变多，然后变越来越短了？
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite,
骗人的吧！我想要再玩一次。
It's more. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see it scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working?
对，没错。
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose.
卡 bug 了，卡 bug 啦，各位，卡 bug 了，我又玩出 bug 了。
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
好了，原文模型晚安。
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful.
哇，他还真的就这样走掉不知道我可以重开游戏吗？骗人的吧？只是为什么烟蒂变多了？是大家都随手往洞里面丢烟蒂，看它是不是就是无底洞嘛？它是不是个无底洞这样？等一下 ，OK 啊，没有问题。What？ 它居然开始向下了，这是什么神妙机关吗？请问我现在玩的是萨尔达吗？提前那个，提前碰到这样，它真的变无底的吗？我很期待。Sorry， 万万这样子按2次赞了，可是啊，好了，学长老师晚安。太夸张了，这个游戏缓缓下降，然后这个 B 卷其实是萨尔达吧，那种开放式冒险，那个气氛很像哦。对呀，太壮大了。什么？改变你的观点？哇，他居然还可以这样子！他是想怎样？想要显示就是他的鼻子很挺这件事情吗？太夸张了！这是什么奇怪的广告吗？哦，其实这是那个啦，这是整形广告啊。改变认知只是换音乐而已。到底在干嘛？改变你的现实。我可以转，我不能转视角。这音乐我会不会被版权啊？我现在在乎这件事。这音乐我会不会被版权？这什么的呀？我变成了什么？等一下 ，What？ 什么鬼？等一下，原来我只是倒立了吗？什么鬼啦？这到底是哪
？Stanley. Oh, good, you're awake.
我想继续玩
Drifting away into dreamland, but we can't have that.
这大概是这个游戏里面最好玩的部分。怎么可以这样啊
？Darn fascinating, but I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the whole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
他在 Toodlepip 什么？又再重复一次吗？那个刚刚那个下降的过程。哦，结果没有骗我，我都期待了一下嘞，太骗了吧！就这样把我赶出来，把洞还给我。
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
有毛病。 算了，我要走了，再见，再也不见，再见了，再见了，拜拜。诶，那个新功能有什么新功能吗？应该是没有。New Easy 没有 No Goodbye Never see you again 拜拜 Adios 加油啦啦！哇，这边还有个公事包哎。What?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
你的跳跳圈只有36
Okay, yes.
你的跳跳圈还是只有36次啊！你还是只能跳这个游戏里面跳36次啊！到底在干嘛
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
他还把跳跳圈拿掉，
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
你终于感受到必须需要这个吗
Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's
I can
it.
take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Huh? What? 他还真的直接到那个2OK we go
This is the story of a man.
OK 对，他就是直接回到那个嘛，回到最初的起点而已嘛。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
早日康复个毛
Stanley
线啊
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
不需要早日康复，我需要
No matter
12
how
岁生
hard
日啊
Stanley
！Hello，
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
水桶。好了，魂魄游子晚安。水桶
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
不需要。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
411 411
Yet there
Okay,
was
go,
not
go,
a
go,
single
go.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No 但是谁也不能要求我离开这里了。没有啦，开玩笑的。
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no
因 为
path to follow.
晚
Just an
安
empty，broom
我们在
closet.
玩粪
No
game，
reason coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
就
boss's
是一个旁白
office.
疯狂狂念的粪 game。谢了。What？
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
他怎么会存在这里啊？这是我现在最大的疑虑了。你怎么会在这？哎，他不让我去看酷酷熊猫了，太烂了吧！真的是粪干呢。他太笨了。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
不想，你这情歌旁白。
Anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age
新世纪
music.
音乐，我们期待一下。我还以为他会播放什么《新世纪福音战士》的 OP 之类的，我以为那个前奏会出来，你知道吗？我期待了一下。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
你怎么连让我的频道被版权这种事都做不出来呢？太让我难过了，这个游戏。
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things.
对啊吗？对啊，你看，
Mini Stan.
这游戏就是一个情勒旁白在跟你玩的游戏。
What about Stanley?
一个情勒指示厨旁白。
I like
抱歉，我要更正一
Another
下。
Stanley under your belt.
真的不能上楼吗？可以让我上楼吗？拜托让我上楼，拜托啦！
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
因为我们还是来到这里嘛。这第二集的结局到底是什么？告诉
The
我。
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
你的工
himself.
作就是滴滴24小时，不可以休假，365天全年无休，这样吗？那真是令人感到害怕。
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
233那边坏掉了。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
我不
Was
就
this
在
the
控
only
制着
reason
他
he
吗？
was
你在讲
happy
什么
with
鬼
his
话呢？
boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
你要去耶？
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
No.
It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
他现在可能看到了吧？
But
大
here
概
was the proof. The heart of the operation.
太邪恶了。
Controls labeled with emotions.
邪恶世界的中心
Happy
点
or，sad or
需要不同
content.
结局的提示吗？
Walking, eating,
先等
working,
等。
all of it monitored and commanded from this very
现在
place.
有办法按
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink
办法，好，
in,
我现在没办法按。
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
按。我刚刚想说，那个下楼的时候，不是中间有一层，它好像可以跳，可是我不知道怎么让电梯停下来。 所以这个游戏的第二就是这样的结局吗？啊
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
一样啊。
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking.
不行哎，游戏公司都到2了。
had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him what to do or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be.
他回归大自然，他要成为自然的一部分。
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Is happy， 他变成 happy 的样子。Happy， Is that you happy？ 回到这里来了，办法吗？不打电话。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo.
Meeting today in the meeting room. Fearing friends comment. Figuring friends. 那种寻找朋友吗
Stanley picked up the bucket.
OK， 我大概知道为什么了，因为我们拿水桶吧。
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Hello Faker 晚安，我们在，你看现在应该是早安了，我们在跟水桶一起玩。
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Isn't this a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
到底在干嘛？他在跟大家就是说明，这是在 PUA 嘛？这算是 PUA 的过程吗？
Correct.
在洗脑你这东西不是一个水桶，这真的是 PUA 的过程，我的天哪，好可怕哦！
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
啊？
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
这耕耘机啊
Correct. This is a
拖拉机
tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
你才是一点吧，有一点。
Is this a bucket? Incorrect.
Huh?
This is a bucket.
Okay.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one.
那有什么
Let me
毛
see. It should
病
be around here somewhere. Yes, thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
完了，是不是所有东西都是水桶的？这会取决于我等一下可不可以进去那房间，对不对？哲学。
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
那你一开始就不应该放个桶啊。
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
你是水桶，我也是水桶，他也是水桶。
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
你要
It's
确
so
定耶。
delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the
所以你
fact
原本的
that
认
we
知是你
haven't
是个
got a
水桶
game.
吗？
So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
OK。所以我们又从头来过了。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
接下来我们会不会看到有
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
我们可以拿着水桶渡过那边吗？
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct
如
way
果
to
我
the
们
meeting
我们
room.
洗了那
Stanley
个
had felt the bucket
洗
calling
了
to
那
him,
个
telling him
辩
that
论
the
的话，
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
还是我们还是不能走进那个禁止所有水桶进去那边的地方。我现在比较担心的是这个，太哲学吧，这游戏。在这种时候很哲学，可是在其他地方是笨拙。
Said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yeah, good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets.
哦，不行，他不让我带着桶离开，气死了。我虽然已经洗了他的对于水桶的认知，但是还是不让我。他不让我。
So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
水桶真理教。
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Huh? How we can find them? 什么鬼啊？怎么突然变成这里？怎么突然变成一个很奇怪的地方？好可怕 ！Missing， 这个看起来像马桶。We need more plank. 哦。可是我没有那个员工卡，我需要那个卡，对吧？我需要那个卡。啊，这个。There will be a reward next day. Oh. 让人精神振奋的一件事情呢，打翻咖啡在重要的东西上面。对，我需要那个员工卡。现在问题在这里，如果说我要照着这个走的话，我需要那个员工卡。没有桶子那边的话，哦，这里是什么？这里是下楼，厕所已经找过了，然后。火炉，哦，这里是哪？所以找完是有什么小的有趣的事情吗？这里没有啊，好难过。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
带着水桶，这里也没有什么。哎，可以装水吗？不行，他不让我用水桶装水，那水桶存在的意义是什么？哎，可以开了，好诶，看呐，酷酷熊猫。啊，刚刚是不是卡 bug 不让我那个？
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
水桶存在意义不是带领走向世界真理吗？
The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. 为什 什么不论怎么按，它都只让我往下？我想向上啊，太太。
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
不能点了，可以点，行，他不让点了，不行。
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket
我跟水桶还是会死掉吗？怎么会这样？为什么我跟水桶还是会
The door
死啊
behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
那我就算到世界末日，我也要跟这个水桶一起死掉，对吧？再会，各位。他没有衰落判定哎。他真的没有衰落判定，我明明跳得非常的深了，到底是什么毛病啊？
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
又暂停了，是谁啊？
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous
水
metal
桶你
doors.
一起到尽头，
In a
笑
single
死！
visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
什么？
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
水桶欢迎光临大展。你正站在知识的悬崖边上，像水桶本身是空的一样，人类也经常头脑空空，是个巨大的空洞。但通过使用你面前的展品，头脑变得充实丰富，不再空虚。关于水桶和它的历史和的知识，是我们真正拥有的唯一真相。你会不会把你在这里学到的东西带到外面的世界去？你可以以放开的心态接受本展览中的讯息，是可能存在的挑战吗？什么鬼啊！
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
我的头越来越痛了，什么奇怪的鬼地方？哦，是那个洞哎，地狱水桶。 什么鬼啊！水桶万岁！你们到底有什么毛病？洞穴绘画，骗人的吧
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
悬吊的水桶，没办法下去哦。
But there is something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him.
不是那样呢？
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world.
好，那我们今天就先到这吧。我大概感受得到，制作团队是个水桶狂热者。不行，我觉得玩了3个小时，第4个小时，我们可以冷静一点吗？我们是否可以对冷静一点？太有点对，还是说，就是他的结局已经差不多，就是那一些，不然再开始一次好了。可我还是好想知道，还是很想要知道对哦，他刚刚有说，就是如果说关掉再打开，可以设置一个我喜欢的时间嘛，然后他会允许我用那个时间。等一下，我试一下，那个他允许我的时间，非常傲慢的允许我的时间。我想一下哦，喜欢的时间哦。这个时间吧。7点21分晚上，你一天中最喜欢的时间。或者，你能不能不要再拒绝给我正确的时间？毕竟我知道你有多喜欢正确设置时间。好了，我现在很好奇，晚上7点21分的准确性如何？我们用一个滑块了解一下。你知道吗？我可以说，不管时钟的准确性如何，我在调整这些设置时很开心。我现在觉得我正在更多的了解你以及你的设定偏好。收集数据是件好事。我希望有更多的滑块，但我已经用完所有的滑条。也许我可以发明一些新的滑条来收集关于你的新数据。这应该不会太难。好，我来做几个新的。在你下次启动游戏时，应该已经准备好了。太可爱了吧？应该差不多了啦。感觉应该差不多了。还有漏掉什么结局吗？这个可怕的游戏，水桶狂热者的游戏吗？那结局到底有多少个啊？现在比较好奇的事情。我可以推荐一个彩蛋吗？可以啊，现在可以了。可是目前的话是没有问题的了，就是我应该已经破完80%、70%的结局吗？差不多了。鸟，你可以说说看了。对，带着水桶在工具店待久一点。好，我去试试看。对耶，我怎么没想到这件事情？来看一下。那我们玩完这个就差不多，就把大家射出去了。带着水桶去工具店待久一点。工具间。
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
工具间是在这里，这里吗？好，我记得在这。确实，我刚刚怎么没有想到，就是带着水桶到工具间待久一点。
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
把大家泼出去用水桶。
It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
你 NTR 的工具间，不，
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, Now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends, that your relationship is purely superficial and convenient, that your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings.
真的好烦哦。
Changed and evolved over the years.
他到底在干嘛？没了吼，你讲完了吼，你把该说的话都说完了吼。你要去 ，OK 吼。
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
我突然的不想要这个水桶了，我想要就是，我比较想要这个。 快乐的版式。
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
我真的想要把这贴纸贴在你头上。 水桶上面贴的水桶的贴纸真是有个完美，我要疯了。
You know what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
拜拜。刚刚说的好像就是我跟水桶在，就是应该说史丹利他跟水桶在杂物间打炮一样，是怎么回事啊？ 我不知道怎么说了，感觉不太对耶。说的我好像拿着，就是史丹利拿着水桶在杂物间里面干嘛干嘛一样。他还会说些什么吗？你还有什么话想讲的吗 ？Hello， 奇怪的猎巫人。哦，好了，没有，应该是没有了。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
居然当着杂物的面，哎，对吼，我也可以。既然是这样的话，那我也可以。啊，什么东西穿模？哦，吓死我了！在这种行了吧？抱着水桶在那个厕所里面，不知道会不会发生什么事哎、还是他对于杂物间比较有强烈的那个义务感，义务的那个怎么讲？就是他觉得杂物间跟这水桶比较相配，所以他就在那边是疯狂的 diss 我跟水桶之间的恋情，我快笑死！如果真的是这样的话，那真的要确认一下还在干嘛哎、好吧，很显然是没有。Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. OK， 这是一首歌吗 ？Hello， 不要换歌词了。我的天哪！我只知道那个 JoJo 的有一个过场的音乐是 Morning, 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 morning。然后后面我忘记怎么唱了。
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
OK， 差不多了。好了，我们今天就先到这啦，太有趣了吧？对， 但它还会有其他，它还有其他结局吗？我比较好奇的这件事情，除了我们看到的这一些，是不是我们收集完那个神秘小人，它就会有更多的结局？第4部杜王顶早上的广播，没错啦，就是那里。太奇异了吧？其实还有不少地方没有走。对啊，那个什么，像是什么禅宗的房间，那个也是。但我觉得不行，我有种感觉是我在玩下去就是会先吐，因为其实有在晕了，其实有点的晕了，还是会晕。天哪，果然还是没有办法克服3D 晕这件事情，完全的克服吧。好啦，那差不多啦。总之，如果对这款游戏有兴趣，它名字叫做那个史丹利的预言，有兴趣的话可以去那个 Steam 上面找。对，还有一个超级豪华版，2022年的版本，太夸张了。如果你想要被疯狂的唠叨，你没有朋友，你想要被疯狂的指示的话，你可以去玩这款游戏。我猜，不凡呀，你已经不是我猜了。好了，今日はここまでお疲れ様でした。然后我们等一下去，我看一下哦。我们等一下去白月那边好。不正常逃兵安安，我才。谢谢培根，辛苦了。哎，太指示了，这个真的是非常的被指示哎。对，而且真的，其实要直播这个游戏，我刚刚感受到就是他讲的话太多了，所以我反而没有办法就是讲自己想要讲的东西，有点头痛。真是狗，谢喽旁白帮我直播了大概80%的直播，爱你哦，真是过分了，太过分了。哎，那电梯到底是怎么回事？我现在最生气的应该是那个电梯吧？那电梯真的是，唉，十分遗憾哎。制作单位可不可以让那个电梯就是可以往上？因为真的就是它只有选择一开始就只有往下，它没有往上的选项，其他所有电梯都只能往下，它不能往上。楼上有什么？我想要知道啊 ！Hello， 他都不让，就是所有人往上走，他只让大家往下走，太过分了，真是太过分了。来回几次？哦，就一直上上下吗？没事的，我到时候会有新地方，没事。他应该会，就是这旁白应该会疯掉啊，真太恐怖了。好啦，那我们去看练玩那个吧，最近很红的铁道。好啦，辛苦了各位，辛苦了，不行了，真的不行了。等一下可能会去换我，就是再玩下去的话，我觉得等一下会换我去吐。到底是怎么回事啊？这个游戏，唉，太可怜了。有时候我在想，或许我就是史丹利吧，呵呵。好啦，大家辛苦了啊。OK， おつおつ。くさおつ，拜拜。